Okay, so we did a poll on the Yummy Arts website about what type of cakes you would like, what you need ideas for. And one of the top picks, which was kind of odd to me, was housewarming cake. I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever made a housewarming cake. So I was trying to think, well, what do you do for a housewarming? I mean, you usually bake them cookies or buy them towels or something like that. But I thought maybe a basket of fruit. Okay, we could also do a basket of flowers, but you know, flowers are more, could be for anything. So I thought we'd go with a basket of fruit, and this could be done in either the basket part in fondant or buttercream. But I tend to do a lot of fondant cakes, so I thought I'd switch it up. I know a lot of people prefer to use the buttercream, so we're going to do the basket part in buttercream. We will use some fondant for some of the fruits on top. So I wanted my basket to be a little bit more oval rather than a round basket, but you could certainly do a round basket. That works also. And right here, I've got sheet cake stacked up. So I've got 4 layers of cake and then 3 layers of filling here. So this ends up being, let me get this for you so you can know the height, about 4.5 inches tall. So something close to that, 4 to 4.5 inches. Now the next thing, since I want it to be a little bit more oval, instead of just kind of cutting it and maybe getting it off a lot, what I could do is take off this paper first. Take just a round circle cake board, place it in the center here so that this round part is right up to the edge. And then what we'll do is we'll just take some buttercream and mark the cake like that, and then bring it down to this side, make sure it's centered, and then a little buttercream down on that side. Okay? Alright, now what we can do is start to carve the cake. Now the pieces that we're going to carve off, I'm actually going to place on this board because we might need them later to build up where the fruit's going to go. Also, you could, if you have extra cake batter when you bake maybe cupcakes so that you can put those on top, so that you don't have to use so much fondant for the fruit portion. So we'll just take a knife and see how I can do this so that you can see the best way, but I don't want to mess it up either. How about here? Okay, so I'll go in where that line is. Okay, so take that off, save that. And actually I'll take the corners off first, and then we're going to carve in a little bit more and make the top part of the cake wider than the base of the cake. Okay, now if you have a real soft cake and you're worried about this cake settling and getting a little wrinkle here, especially if you don't refrigerate your cakes, what you can do is halfway up here, actually place a cardboard. You'd have to take a quarter sheet board and cut it into an oval shape and then place it in here. So it also would make it easier for you to cut the cake, because you can cut the top cake and then you'll cut down to where the cake board is, and then you can cut the bottom cake instead of cutting these really tall pieces of cake. Okay, and what we're going to do is, since the fruit is fondant stuff will be heavy, we are going to put a cake board up here with supports in it, and that's going to hold up the fruit because that can get pretty heavy, especially on a buttercream based cake.